Hello and blessings, my beautiful souls. How are you doing today? I want to welcome you to, and the bees, I'm surrounded by bees. I want to welcome you to my Pentacle Project because as an earth sign, as a Taurus, as an earth sign, I feel very passionate about the suit of Pentacles, and I feel very strongly that Pentacles is often misrepresented. And I will get into that in just a moment. But first, I must thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Moonly. Let's have a little look at Moonly right now before we get stuck into the crux of this video. Moonly is inspired by Vedic astrology and brings you tools like moon calendars, meditations, and now an AI-powered feature that acts as your very own astrology assistant. Now, I personally am not an astrologer, and yet I'm a student of astrology. I really enjoy the differences between Vedic astrology and tropical astrology, and so I enjoy the aspect of the AI feature that can act as my very own astrology teacher. I personally use Moonly, and I really enjoy their meditations and their birth chart tools, which gives me personalized recommendations, and they now also offer yearly forecasts. There is also a tarot component, as well as a runic component, as well as this whole entire section dedicated towards healing, which I have found to be really quite nourishing in my own personal spiritual journey. And so I would like to thank Moonly so much for sponsoring this video, and I hope that you will take the time to check out their app. Alright, so let's get into it, because Pentacles, very near and dear to my heart. Why? I am a Taurus. I feel like I have this need to represent Pentacles in a way that gives credence to the power of this particular suit on behalf of the Tauruses out there, the Virgos and the Capricorns, because quite frankly, what I have noticed reviewing and collecting and analyzing and teaching tarot for all the years that I have is that the suit of Pentacles carries with it this kind of afterthought kind of vibe, if you know what I mean. It's like creators of tarot decks. They start off strong with the suit of wands because it's all fire and beautiful, and then they move on to swords, which is cutting and slicing, and it's just metal and angular and it's fierce, right? And then they go to cups, which is like moody and flow and all that kind of good fun stuff, intuition and dreamscape and creativity, or imagination I should say. And then they get to Pentacles and they're like, ugh, and then they put down their bag. And then that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like in a great many decks. Not all decks, but a great many decks, which is why when I created my own tarot deck, the Bone, Stone and Earthflesh Tarot, I wanted to give a really strong suit of Pentacles, and I believe that I executed that to the best of my abilities. Whether I did in your eyes or not is neither here nor there. I just did my best. And I wanted to make sure that I gave that energy to the suit of Pentacles. Another small issue that I have found with Pentacles, and this is a misrepresentation issue, right? So all of a sudden, the suit of Pentacles means money, right? I'll give you a minute because you might have to adjust this in your mind. You might have heard it, you might hear people talking about wealth and money and finances and all of that in regards to the suit of Pentacles. And I'm not saying that that is largely wrong. I'm just saying that's not the one. That's not the only thing. Money is that much of the suit of Pentacles. There's an entire garden's worth of value to the suit of Pentacles. And so when I think of the suit of Pentacles, and I want to encourage you to think this way as well, is that when you see a card that is part of the suit of Pentacles, that the first word that comes into your head isn't money or wealth or finances or any of those kind of money related associated words, but it's resources. Resources. Because that is what Pentacles represents. It represents the vast array of resources available in our physical world. And that can mean a great many things. For instance, right now I'm sitting under the sun. I live off grid. The sun and my solar panels is how I make energy to support my household. So the sun becomes a valuable resource to me. Likewise does rainwater. And so in my particular life, in my instance, sun and water become resources, and they become valuable resources by which I sustain my life. And then we go beyond that. One of the most valuable resources that I personally have and I actively identify as a valuable resource is my time. My time, my energy. These are resources to me. And so I consider, when I look at the Suit of Pentacles, I think of my dog, I think of my garden, I think, yes, of my bank account, but I also think of my work and what I do to create money. I think of my family. I think of my health, I think of my wellness, I think of the way that I like to grow things, full stop. Not just in the physical, but in the spiritual as well. How I like to grow things, how I like to nurture things to grow. That is Pentacles at work as well. Pentacles is integrated into the everyday life. It is represented in your material possessions. And that could be inherited, that could be gifted, that could be bought with your own money. Which is why I say that yes, money is an attribute of Pentacles, but it's an oversimplification of the Suit of Pentacles, of the energy of Earth. When we think of Earth, I think of family. I think of, sitting around a table and sharing food with my children and nurturing a really lovely meal so that I can put it in front of them and they can really enjoy that. That is an Earth moment to me. It's food, it's family, it's nourishing and sustaining. It's a resource. It's a resource, okay? And that's the part that I don't quite understand. How it is that we have slipped from understanding the robust and flourishing Suit of Pentacles and just assigning it the title of money. Yes, I understand that Pentacles itself has been called coins, discs. There's quite a few names that have been given to the Suit of Pentacles across decks over time. I'm not going to get into that right now, but it's true. And with the subject of coins, I can see how there is an influence there. I can see how people got there. I understand how they got there. But as time moves on, our understanding of tarot grows. It has grown exponentially. And where we stand right now, it's important to understand that every suit has its own kingdom. And as such, I wanted to encourage you to start looking at the Suit of Pentacles as a suit of resources and to try and understand for yourself, interpreting this in your own life, in how you choose to live, what you would consider to be a resource to you. And that way, when you are reading tarot for yourself or for someone else, the understanding of resources is super important. It's having that conversation with your client or with your friend if you're doing a reading for another person and understanding what's important in their life and looking at where the resources lie and understanding the role that Earth plays in their life. And it's a really, really interesting kind of subject to delve into when we're looking at shifting our perspective on Pentacles means money to Pentacles means resources. There is so much more to play with when we're talking about resources. There is so much more to play with. Whereas money can be so limited into the physical and the materialistic. It is a component of resources. So if you add money to resources and you consider the Suit of Pentacles to be resources, money's still in there. You've just added one attribute to a large garden, a flourishing cornucopia, if you will, of wisdom, of potential, of attributes, call it what you will. If you were to stop and think very carefully about each of the suits within the tarot, you would understand how big each kingdom really is. I could sit here for days and talk to you about Pentacles as I could for any of the other suits. Fire, air, cups, they are just vast in their breadth, and the way that we can use that immensity to interpret is by truly understanding the attributes, the concepts, the wisdom behind these suits, so that then we can translate that into tangible wisdom for ourselves and for our clients. So that there, my beautiful souls, is my little Pentacle project. because I had to take the time out of my day today in this hot sun, even though it's autumn, a bit mad about that, to sit here and really try to course correct an issue that I have found to be prevalent for some time now. And if I have at all opened up your mind to the concept that the suit of Pentacles goes beyond just money and does in fact mean resources, then I feel like I have done my job today. And so, with all of that said and done, my beautiful souls, I am wishing you so much love, luck, peace, and joy. If you would like to support my channel, please do consider joining my Patreon, where I'm going to go much deeper on this subject and get a little bit more involved and have a written component for educational purposes. If you can't afford to support my channel at this moment in time, thank you so much for being here with me anyway, for hitting that like button, for subscribing if you haven't already, or for leaving a comment, because I do appreciate it. It's how I get my channel to grow. And I hope that you have the most amazing day. Mwah!